have to stop the flow of weapons, the flow of money, the flow of voluntary inside Egypt. Sinai is a very desertic region. It's the composition of its population is from tribes. Everybody knows the other. The cities are small, so we can do control that way. But we are.
What about some of the jihadist figures, or those who are just hiding in between the tribes? We're not speaking that the Sinai residents have to do with that, and we're not speaking about any kind of but we're speaking about such figures who are infiltrating and living within them, not even knowing much about that. How were those figures able to penetrate this area or carry out with such an attack? I mean, here, that was a huge attack. Many soldiers died in such a cowardice attack, and many all Egyptians are very sad, and they are grieving, because this is not the first attack that our brave soldiers lose their life in. So, from your point of view, what is the situation here?
Well, as I said, we need a lot of measures. First of all, our strategy in Sinai is not correct. We are, for the past time, we are receiving hits. We have reactionary strategy in Sinai. We have to take the lead. We have to fight first. We don't have to hide in the military camps. We have to go outside to meet these people and to fight them and to kill them. This is, first of all, should be our strategy, not to receive or react to these hits. Second of all, we said before, I believe, that destroying many houses in Rafah region was an error. It creates a lot of unhappy people of these actions, terrorists maybe, coming from this distraction because they lost their houses.
But they were compensated with other homes.
It's not enough. It's not. I believe it's not. They were complaining. They were asked in 48 hours to leave their houses. It was a mistake, and unfortunately, nobody listened to these complaints from these people, and we wronged against this. So we are committing errors. We have to stop and cut the flow of weapons from Gaza or from Israel to Sinai. We have to secure our national waters, our territory in Sinai. We have to have very active intelligence outside, not necessarily inside, in Turkey, in Qatar, in Syria, because these are the hot points in the Middle East. We have to take action in the Syrian quest. We cannot leave Syria to suffer and to be penetrated and to be cut in pieces as it happens right now. We cannot depend, even in the media, on the opposition propaganda concerning Syria or Iraq. We have to cooperate with the legal governments for now and to make an initiatives, peace initiatives, reconciliation initiatives, We cannot leave all to the West. All the negotiations of Libya and Syria are in Geneva, led by I don't know whom. So we have to take that. Egypt, as a great country in the Middle East, as a leader in the Middle East, should take, and the Arab League should take the initiative to make negotiations and reconciliation process in Egypt or anywhere in the Middle East or in the Arab world. But leaving all the cards to the West to manage the crisis in Syria and in Libya, and to invite whom they like and to help whom they like and to give weapons to whom they like, it will affect our national security, and we cannot go on with this strategy. When they invite us, we go. No, Egypt is the great neighbor of Libya and Syria, and the biggest brother.
It's in our deep national strategic borders here we're speaking. Yes, indeed. Here, military spokesman Colonel Mohammed Samir said that Sinai's attacks were due to the successful blows dealt by the joint army and police forces against terrorists in the Sinai Peninsula, and he said that these attacks came after the failure of the Brotherhoods to spread chaos during the 4th anniversary of the January 25th revolution. Yes, they are consecutive, but they also are very courageous and they hit us at the core. This is one remark that was really raised by media people. We're speaking here about the Western media at large. And we're speaking here about how the Western media are dealing with particularly the Egyptian case. Because at one hand, when one lady was killed and there are investigations of who was behind the killing of this lady, we have heard loud and loud voices in the whole media, the whole Western media, speaking about the brutal Egyptian authorities and how they are giving conclusions even before investigations are made. But anyway, many soldiers die, and not even one condemnation at the African Union from the UN Security, the UN Chief Ban Ki-moon. Not one word from Washington until today. Not one word from the French, when we stood with them with very loud voices criticizing terrorism that's occurred in the country. I mean, here, how do you view the international community's position towards what is going on in Egypt? And it is very much translated in their media.
Well, once again, it's our mistake to give them all the cards in their hands. When the French called us to participate in this march in Paris, we went. We sent our Minister of Foreign Affairs. Happened in Egypt, action. We cannot give the slogan of fighting terrorism only for the West. We have our own campaign, we have our own problem here. We have to engulf the whole Arab world in a big campaign against terrorism. We have to talk to the people, we have to send envoys to Arab countries. We have to engage ourselves in negotiations with whole Arab countries to give them the initiative or the lead to in this campaign. We have to invite them for a coalition for development and stability in the Middle East. We have to call our neighbors, our brothers, in this, but leaving the whole case of Libya in the hands of the West, leaving the whole case of Syria in the hands of the West, and United Nations or Geneva or whatever, is not correct. Egypt is, let's say, is absent.
But for this important role Egypt is, or was, or this burden that is put on our shoulders, carrying on with or trying to protect the whole region and trying to put ends to disputes and crises rather happening in the whole region, because it's not one only crisis we're speaking about here, but for this price we're paying daily. And this is why I'm very much, not me, but we as Egyptians are very much disappointed with the international community and how they are reacting towards the situation in Egypt. So from your point of view, how do you view the position of community, particularly regarding Egypt?
Yeah, it's selective. It's obvious. It's very selective. They don't take our national interest in consideration. They have their own agenda. It's nothing new. But the problem with ours is to let them do this and not to expose them in international forums, to start, as I said, on a campaign against terrorism, global one, against the country that helping these terrorist groups all over the world. We have been very late on the situation in Syria. We did not engage ourselves in this situation. We left all the burden for the Syrians. It's a national interest and a national security for us. This is why we are now suffering from these consequences of these terrorist groups. They will not stop. As long as they have money, as long as they have weapons, they control the petrol wells in Iraq and in Syria. So it's a big danger. Living like nothing is going on around us is a big mistake for us. I believe intelligence cooperation should be much more activated. Diplomacy should be more active, and our soft power, we should use all of our weapons against these countries and against this campaign. But we have to talk to our people as well. Exactly. You mentioned, yes.
The indoor. Yes. The indoor. And that's a very important point that you're raising here, sir. Our indoor. And we spoke about external factors that are funding or supporting by any means. Then we are also speaking about internal factors who are knowing or without knowing or whatever they are saying, but they are being used to carry out with attacks against their own country. And terrorism has no religion.
Yes.
No religion. So indoor, what should be done?
I believe politics. We should activate our politics in Egypt. I believe politics are absolutely needed. We don't have negotiation, we don't have dialogues